This here that you see on this chart is where the whole sell-off weakness that came into the dollar on Friday. And why? Because we had these two structural points, the 10077, which we were looking at from last week, and we had the other structure, which is the 10052. And what happened is we put a high at 100, just even it poked its head above it, and for some reason they sold the hell out of it on Friday. That was the turnaround for some reason in the Canadian on Friday, and you can see it here on the intraday. You can see how excellent this move went all the way. It's pushed very strongly. It took out the 3 daily high, the 2 daily high, the 1 daily high, and it went above the structure point, and then right there they just let it go. They couldn't hold on to it, and it came back, and with that it dragged with it the dollar Swiss, it dragged with it the euro dollar, and it dragged with it the other ones at different levels. But that's what it dragged with them the other pairs. So the Canadian, this move that happened in the CAD, there is an explanation to it, and that is primarily because the Canadian is a commodity-based currency, and there has been a little bit of a small knee-jerk kind of a reaction, if you will, to the upside in crude on Friday. It went up like $1, not pretty much, I mean nothing much. I can show you. We had this little move here to the upside. I mean, it just went like $1.50 or so. There you go. It went up $1.50 because of the events that's happening in the Middle East. It's still not something that you'd say, okay, this thing is going up and the crude is going up, but that kind of fear, if you will, in the crude is what gave a little bit of support to the Canadian dollar and would push the dollar to the downside. Yes, we took the dollar yen on Friday, and I'm going to show you the trades. Khalid, I'm still long the pound yen, and I'm still long the euro yen and the dollar yen from Friday. As I told you, remember I said I'm going to put my stops there. I'm going to leave it as it is. They're still there. I haven't got stopped out. Here is the pound yen. Here's the pound yen, and it's right there at the high of the day. My stop was here. It's right there. And the same thing with the I think the dollar yen. I had these pair, and I'm still long the dollar yen, and I'm still long the and they're moving nicely. So anyway, let's do the dollar CAD. The weakness that came here is not particularly dollar weakness. It is mostly Canadian strength, and it's primarily either people are buying gold or crude oil out of fear of a possible events in the Middle East, but that is kind of temporary. So with this, if we're going to plan our trades in the dollar CAD, looking at this chart on the daily chart, this is my structural point, the 10007, and we did, as you can see here, we came and we traded below it. We traded below the 10008 or 0007, actually it's a 7, and it's the one that we had over here, and then we came back and we are above it. So even though it gave us a sell signal, because coming above the previous daily high and the previous 2 daily high and the previous 3 daily high and the previous 4 daily high and the previous 5 daily high, these are 5 sell signals. And then it slid down, it went above the previous daily low, now it came back above it. So after giving us 5 sell signals, it is now giving us 1 buy signal, and this is the most recent position. So the bias is still up in the dollar CAD, and I'm gonna be kind of neutral. I mean, if you look at the intraday charts, this is a nightmare. I mean, this is a freaky. I mean, look at all these levels here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I mean, if you really want to find a place to short this dollar CAD, this is here. There's no other place to short it but here. That's the only place. Because if it comes down, the distance between one and the other is like, this is 998, this is 991, this is 984. So the difference between one trade and the other is the spread. So it doesn't pay taking the short anywhere, because if it comes back up of it, you're going to be whipsawed between these levels. So we're only going to short it below 998, 99.84, and you're going to place your stop above the 10009. So for the dollar CAD, we're going to go short, and this was actually the short from last week, the 998. Where is the number? Let's find the number exactly. We're going to go short below 99.84, which is actually 99.83, make it 99.84, and our structural short point is the 99.29, and our stop is the same from last week. We're going to put the short stop above 10009, which is above the structure points over here. On the short side, on the long side, I'm sorry, we're going to buy it above the 10035. So I'm going to leave 30 pips. I don't want to get in the middle of this noise, so I'm going to buy it above the 10035. Which is pretty much the same from last week. I mean, there is no really much change from the plan last week. It's just 2 ticks. Then my structure long point is still the same, the 10052, which is right there. It's the same structure point. And my stop is going to be the 10009, which is the same thing that I have for my short. So my stop is going to be the same for the long and for the short. Okay? So for the dollar CAD, we're going to buy it above the 10035. If I do, I have a structural long point at 10052, and my stop is going to be the 10009. On the short side, I'm going to go short below 99.84. I have a structural short point at 99.29, and my stop is going to be the same for both at 10090. Okay, that is the dollar CAD. Let me save it with a